I'm Tom, your friendly neighborhood atheist, and we are getting ready for Gateway. And I am here with the Seth Andrews, the voice behind the Thinking Atheist. And I'm sure most people who are atheists know who he is, and those who are even secular and some theists probably know who he is too, because he is very well known, not only as an atheist, but he was very well known as a non-atheist with that velvety voice of his. Hey, Seth, why don't you tell them a little bit about what you're best known for?
Well, my background is a religious one. I was an FM radio broadcaster for a very popular Christian station in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And, this is Jesus town. And I was a Jesus believer. And in my 30s, late 30s, finally began to tap on the glass to see if it was true and realized that I was living an inherited, assumed faith and not anything that I'd come to rationally. And so I came ultimately to a point of acceptance of non-belief. I just realized I don't buy this anymore. And I wanted to promote an idea, promote reason and thinking instead of faith, which is the culture I came out of, a faith culture. And so the Thinking Atheist is an icon that reminds me and everyone else that let's think about the challenges and opportunities before us. And so I began the website called thethinkingatheist.com in 2009. The radio show started in 2010. I'm a video producer. I speak all around the country, and I've been to Canada, Australia. I've been privileged to be able to go and just encourage people that it's okay to ask questions, to doubt, to be curious, to challenge authority, to challenge the sacred. And I've had some success doing it, and I'm getting excited about Gateway to Reason. St. Louis was a blast last time I was there. I think it's going to be a great time again this year.
Well, hopefully, last time, if I recall, that was your anniversary weekend. So you had to cut out a little bit early.
My wedding anniversary, it was, so I spoke at the conference and then threw all my gear in the back of the car and drove 6 hours back to celebrate my anniversary with Natalie. And I don't know how many people know, we got married on a glacier in Alaska. We took a little ski plane and landed on a glacier. We got married right there at 6,500 feet. And it was just us and a secular officiant and her daughter and the pilot. And so on that date of the last Gateway to Reason, I had an ice sculptor come and sculpt a small glacier and then leave it in the front lawn. It was just small, but it was funny. And so I brought her outside and I said, well, I couldn't take you back to the glacier this year, but I brought a glacier to you. And it became this moment and a great memory. So that's what I remember most about leaving that weekend is I had to rush home because the ice people were coming to drop off the glacier. But, Gateway to Reason was a major event. There were a lot of big names. It was a great venue, a huge crowd. Even on the weekdays, I noticed we had a really big crowd. And I think these types of things are important. It's important for us to get together, I think, to encourage each other, to challenge each other, to remind each other we're not alone, to promote ideas, to promote reason, rationality, to critique religion. There are some people who get weird about gatherings like this and say it's atheist church. I think those people have completely missed the point. Yeah. I think we're human beings and communal activity, getting together to enjoy and celebrate common interests, to work together. This is part of the human experience. And I think we should embrace it.
I remember you told me the story for your anniversary plans, the mini glacier. It was nice that you got to hang around for the VIP party. And that was one of the nice things about the conference is opportunity to get to meet face-to-face people like you, people that everyone has heard online, either on video or podcasts, and get a little bit face-to-face time with you, which is...
Yeah, a lot of the speakers are like that. They'll just hang out. In fact, I think pretty much all the speakers are like, they'll just go and chill and rub elbows and connect and share stories. And I think, that for the speakers, it's as engaging as it is for anybody. I mean, we get a chance to really connect with the people who are parts of our communities and we're parts of theirs. And there's a family atmosphere that I think if you've never been to one of these, you may not know what we're talking about. But I just came off an event in Canada and there were some people, first-time conference goers who were like, this is an amazing atmosphere. And I'm like, this is what it's like when you get together with fellow rationalists and just enjoy each other. So it's pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly you just become lifelong friends with people. that you just met. And it's, I think it's fair to say that, you and I know Matt Dillhunty likes to hang out as much as everyone else. I know Matt likes to show off his magic skills, but everyone seems to be there for the exact same reason. I know as speakers, quite often you've got a busy schedule and you're not always able to stick around, but part speakers do stick around for the entire time and just hang out and chill and chat, and they're there just to have as much fun as everyone else is.
Well, what many people don't realize is that, like, for me as a broadcaster, a radio broadcaster, this is me shooting the show out into tens and tens and tens of thousands of homes and cars and workplaces and wherever people happen to listen. But even when I'm taking calls on the switchboard, reading emails, it's not the same as that eye-to-eye, face-to-face, voice-to-voice connection. So, it's really a privilege and an opportunity for me to be able to go out and hang out with members of the audience. Each has a story to share, an experience they want to relate. They might have a challenge they're going through, and it's those experiences when I get that human connection, just person-to-person connection, and then it's not just a one-way outbound show, but it's real conversation, and I really enjoy it. It's a rush. It's always leave exhausted in the best possible sense of the term. And I always enjoy speaking in front of the audiences. It's like doing a radio show with flashy slides. And, we get to have, I like to incorporate humor. I like to bring the audience in. We all take the journey together. I really want it to be kind of a ride. And so it's 40 whatever minutes, 45 minutes, but it's a fast 45 minutes with a lot going on. And people seem to really enjoy and engage, and then they'll ask, well, when's it going to be on YouTube? Because I want to show it to somebody else, and that's always a joy. So I think people coming out are going to enjoy the presentation I'm working on now. I'm just now putting the initial pieces together, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Cool. I was just going to ask. I mean, I've seen you speak several times, and I've always enjoyed your talks. They're always very entertaining. You want to give a hint to what you'll be talking about?
Oh, I mean, I'll just tell you straight up. I'm a product of the Satanic Panic of the 1980s and mid-1990s. And there is a myth that the Satanic Panic is over, that this was a piece of our history. Well, I'd spoken to Lucian Greaves of the Satanic Temple on the radio a while back, and we actually asked him this question. I said, is the Satanic Panic over? And of course, he's like, no, because people are still freaked about Satan. And so it sounds like it's rather dark material, but actually it's the opposite. It's a lot of fun as we go back into some of the crazy stuff that they told us was evil with a capital E. And we get into the backward masking and the hair bands and the toys and the films and the pop culture icons that were supposedly coming after the children, the misunderstandings and the myths. People just in a state of weirdness all the time, in a state of celebratory ignorance too, because they didn't fact check any of the stuff that was coming down. They just assumed, well, it sounds like it's something that should be true. They see a symbol and it looks rather evil. They won't bother to check the origin of the symbol. They'll just assume it's the devil's work. And then they go warn their friends and have sermons from the pulpit about it. And so anyway, we're going to take kind of a nostalgic romp through some of the more insane parts of the Satanic Panic, and I'm going to tie it into some of the crazy stuff that's happening in the 21st century as the panic about the Dark Lord continues. So people are going to definitely have a good time.
It always amazes me. I mean, pretty much every atheist knows about the Satanic Temple, and we look at it as good fun. And also, it's a very beneficial group. I mean, they do a lot of very productive things, not only for just scientific awareness, but also secular issues. And they always make a point of, they attempt to install a statue when other groups are trying to install religious, be it the Ten Commandments or...
Say what you will about the Satanic Temple. Some people like them, some people don't, but they're hugely useful in drawing a real flashing red circle around the church-state line and Christian privilege. So as they try to have their own pet monuments to their own pet deity put up, not realizing that if they blur that line, that everybody else gets to step over, then the Christians around here in Oklahoma, we see it quite a bit. They had no clue other religions exist. They have no clue that there are other deities out there, at least in the sense that anyone might claim the same privileges that they do. So I found the Satanic Temple has been, they've been kind of useful to
Very
help
much so.
remind these privileged Christians that there are more than one seat at the table.
And it's a very beneficial thing. I'm glad to have them around. So I know you've pretty much know everybody that's going to be speaking. It's going to be nice seeing you, Matt, and Aaron back together again, the unholy trinity. And I wish I could go. I didn't see you when you were here. I wish I could have gone when you were in Australia. But let me ask you, is there anybody that you haven't met that's going to be speaking, or anybody that you're really looking forward to seeing again?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of the lineup. It's like a full weekend lineup, and I don't have the schedule in front of me. There's always
got like 25 people,
1 or 5 people that I may know of their work, but I haven't had the chance to shake their hands before. And so it's, and to be clear, although my buddies Aaron and Matt are going to be there, we did a short run tour as the Unholy Trinity. We're not actually presenting as the Unholy Trinity. We sort of retired the Trinity back in 2015, or was it 14? It was kind of a short-term gig that we did. It was a lot of fun, but it's funny how it stuck. People seem to remember it. But there are a lot of times that I get the opportunity to shake hands with someone that I'd admired their work and wanted to meet them, and lo and behold, there they are on the roster. I had the chance to meet Kelly Carlin recently at an event. She's the daughter of the late comedian George Carlin. I interviewed Annabelle Gurich, who is a television star. She's been on Seinfeld, and she hosted dinner at a movie, and she's done stage work and done a lot of writing. She's worked with NPR recently, and so I've got her on camera, and that was a tremendous privilege. Ali Rizvi, who's authored the book The Atheist Muslim, and he and I had spoken only on the phone, and so I had a chance to actually meet him. So that's a privilege, and so I'm looking forward to having some of the same experiences in St. Louis.
Should be a good time had by all. One thing I like that Thomas tries to do is put a little bit of a scientific bend on this conference. It's got Margie Kerr is going to be speaking about fear there. I believe he's also trying to get Mr. Wizard again, at least for the VIP party.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool. I mean, he's got some comedians. He's got Shelley Seagal to sing, and it's going to be a packed weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. Not a whole lot of sleeping going on.
Well, I mean, it's I'm sure I'll probably crash and burn. It's funny. I'm this weird guy. I go to bed. Everybody else is like, "Hey, we're going out, or we're going to the big after party," and it's 9:45, and I'm like, "Good night." But I'm up at 5:30, and I'm up wandering around the breakfast area early in the morning, seeing if anybody else is a morning guy. But no, it's going to be a good time. I encourage everybody, log onto the site, get your tickets, find out more, just check it out. And certainly, I think everybody there that I know would be honored to have you there. Would love the chance to be able to hang with you and take pictures and do all that stuff. It's just going to be a fantastic time.
And this conference actually going to be a really good deal. I think Tom's is only charging $50, at least the pre-sale. The conference. The big part of the cost of going to the conferences is the drive, getting there and staying there, which he's also trying to set up to help people with ride share and room share opportunities. So this is going to be a very budgetable conference as well. So
yeah, considering the expense of bringing in as many names as they're bringing. I know, granted, there are a lot of us, if not all of us, who are, we don't. We're there either on the cheap or free or something. We no one's getting rich speaking at atheist conferences, trust me. But it's not uncommon, and I think it's appropriate for some of these all weekend events at conference centers to be in the hundreds of dollars just to cover expenses. And so the fact that he can get it down to 50 that's pretty amazing.
Yes,
I think bang for the buck wise, it's a pretty good deal.
Oh, it's the best deal. I'm hoping to go to the American Atheist Convention. That's a little bit more pricey.
Yeah, and that's going to be a fantastic weekend. I'm speaking in Charleston at the convention. That's the big solar eclipse event.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
that's coming up in August, and they're bringing in some pretty big names, and there I think the hotel, and if the hotel's included, every convention's a little bit different. But
yeah,
as far as what they're doing in St. Louis, it's a nice location. It's a great opportunity. It's you're going to pay less than you'd pay to take your family out to take your spouse or partner out to sushi.
yeah,
So I think for that to be able to have the weekend of speakers and events and memories is very well worth it.
yes. This is
And
going
it's
to
a
be
great way to support Thomas and the people that are putting this together. I think that has merit. So
yes. Really looking forward to it. Gateway to Reason is going to be July 28th through the 30th in St. Louis, and looking forward to seeing you again. Last time I saw you was at the Reason rally, so it's been over a year already.
I will be there with literal bells on, my friend.
Looking forward to it. Thank you very much, Seth.
You bet. We'll see you soon.
Yep. Bye-bye.